All right, everybody, welcome back to Global Spec Racing. It is Season 9, Tier 1, Round 3. We are at the Canadian Grand Prix for the third weekend of GSR this season. As you all know, I am Ryan Ocon31, and today I am joined by GSR Thrasher. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. So, obviously, the first thing I want to mention is the tiers here from earlier this weekend. Tier 3. You watched a little bit of that. I'm going to say a little bit of what I saw from the driving point of view, and you from a spectator point of view, since you watched a little bit of it. So, what I thought, it was another one of those races where it was tough whether you wanted to go a dry or wet setup. This time it was more predictable than Brazil for sure, with last week in Tier 3. But it was a race that it looked like Haas Boomer was gonna probably success in. And you know what? He needed that after what happened last season in Tier 4 with the amount of struggles, the unluckiness, everything else that happened. And it resulted in a Haas 1-2, Morgan catching back up in the championship. And after the race I had, starting 18th on the grid, ended up on the podium, P3, after a dreadful start, a dreadful race. So that shows that these guys need to have the never give up attitude.
Yeah, obviously I didn't watch much, but, from what I saw the opening lap. There was a bunch of aggressive moves on the opening lap. And then I would tune in every now and again. I would always see some nice racing. And obviously at a track like Canada, you want great racing, but it's a tight track, that's what I should say.
Right, exactly.
It's you can't really make a bunch of moves that you can at other tracks. So, it's hard to I don't want to say it's hard to pass, but it's definitely
More complicated,
yeah,
I'd say.
more complicated to pass at
You've
Canada.
got to be a lot more desperate with that. And that's something we're going to have to watch out for with these drivers today. Good?
No, I was just saying, I agree.
Yeah. Tier 2 earlier today, I know you didn't watch, so I'm just going to go debrief a little bit on that. It was a wet race, completely wet, full wet. I just want to say for the Ferrari boys, because I know they're going to want to mention unlucky for them, especially Alistair, who's been taken out in this first lap for the second of the last three races in the league. It's one of those times for people like him and other people who've probably had the mistakes happen to them that we probably don't talk about or we don't notice as much, that you just got to never give up. He won last week too, so sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and that's all a part of the game. But speaking of the rest of the race, Morgan looked like he was in control. It dried up at the end. DRS was enabled while it was still raining, and that usually is the key for everybody to say, hey, I'm going to go dry tires now. And, with how many laps were left, it was going to be mediums or softs that was left. And Morgan went a little too early. And safety car came out at the end. It was Jimbo, Lizard, Riles running 1, 2, 3. Then Morgan, who was the first guy in dries. So all the top three pitted. After that, Jimbo came out of the pit lane just inches in front of Morgan. Which, in fact, saw him lead on to take the win. Lizard second, Riles third with another podium. Could be P4 depending on if Breakout gets that 5-second removed. So we'll have to see. But Morgan ended up finishing in the lower part of the points. Unfortunate for him because he was in control of the race for a good portion, in fact. And he looked like he was going to be the guy who would have excelled on to win. He had an 8-second lead, I think, at one point. So it's unlucky for him, the Tier 3 driver, the Tier 2 reserve there. So, yeah. Now, on to the championship standings after two races in Tier 1. Let's see what we have here, Thrasher. I'm going to go over the driver standings. You will go over the constructors. So, for the driver standings, it's no surprise that Jab's out front. He has scored 50 points in the first two races. He is 26 points ahead of SLR Quarto, who is sitting in P2 in the McLaren. Full time for them now. Axe, who missed last week, in fact, is looking to challenge back for more, tied with Pluto for third. and then Davis in the Ferrari rounds out the top 5. A couple of names who I probably wouldn't expect to be as low as they have been, or you expected more out of them with more pure pace. Vapor outside the top 10, Blugagi outside the top 10. Same with Black Raw, who had a chance for the win. In fact, Brute Gorgon inside the top 7 in the points for the first time ever for him in GSR Tier 1. So there you have it. How about the constructor standings?
Yep, so constructors, obviously Mercedes leading by 24 points over Ferrari in second. Then you have Alpine 1 point behind Ferrari in third, Alfa Romeo fourth, McLaren fifth. Those top second through fifth all in a tight battle in 8 points. And then rounding out the bottom half, you have Red Bull, Aston Martin, Williams, Haas, and AlphaTauri rounding out, only scoring 1 point so far.
So once we get going in about 6 seconds here, it looks like Jab could be on a streak of 3 in a row. I believe, if I'm correct, Thrasher, he could continue a streak happening in GSR where, a driver wins 4 races in a row and then doesn't win the 5th one. But to see Jab off to the start, it's just like last season repeating itself all over again. However, I do think that battle for second is going to be a lot closer than it was last season, if that is going to be the case.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. Obviously last season they were struggling with attendance, so the Tier 1 season was kind of cut short. But this season, there's been some guys who have shown great amount of pace, like Quattro, like Axe, and even Pluto and Davis, the Ferrari teammates now. These guys who had definitely the pace, sometimes don't have the luck that they would like, but it just takes a couple bad races from Jab, and you have guys, tied with them, maybe even ahead of them in points.
Exactly. And you know what? I know Jab is a race ahead with that race win, or with the 2 race wins. But the thing for him is, I've always mentioned it, and it could happen. It's rare to happen, but it could happen. There's always a chance. Just like we always say, Lewis Hamilton in Relay Formula 1 all the time. He had a lot of races, or a lot of seasons, where he'd have 1 or 2 bad races, where, like 2019 for example, where we thought the championship would close back up. Then it never ended up doing that. However, you do have fast drivers here who can actually challenge Jab. They just never end up getting it done. And Thrasher, we do see a dry qualifying, completely clear it looks like. However, is the race the same? Let's find that out from the Tier 1 general chat.
Yep, if you want, while you find that out, I'll go through some of the guys making their first starts.
Correct, good idea.
So we have Breakout making his first start as a reserve. In Tier
Alfa Romeo this time.
Yep, this time it's Alfa
Mercedes
Romeo.
in Tier 2, by the way, for people who don't know.
Yeah.
Dry race, by the way. Sorry, go ahead.
You said dry race? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so, yep, he is Mercedes Tier 2 full-time, and is in the Alfa Romeo today teammates with Brute Gorgon. I believe, if I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is ULM Ronnie's first start of the season.
No, he raced last week in Brazil. However, it could be, even though it is his second start and he's a reserve, last week he didn't make it past lap 1, so I hope he can be able to do that today. But,
okay, I wasn't here, so
good. That makes total sense.
And then was J&T here last week?
This is actually his first start of the season, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so J&T's
So
first start of the season in the Aston Martin. He was teammates with Vapor GS, last season's Tier 2 champion. So, we could maybe see some nice consistency from the Aston Martin team. Yeah, Pluto was validated.
Anyone else before we go on board with a hot lap here?
I think I've got everything. Oh, I think F. Toggy's first reserve start.
Yes, from Tier 2. Yeah, and Jezzy's also reserve in debate too. That's about it, I think. Lizard also from Tier 2.
Yeah.
I think. So that's as far as I know.
Oh, Beatnik. Well,
all right.
What about Beatnik?
Oh yeah, you're right. Beatnik making his return. That is right.
Beatnik
forget about him.
Return to GSR.
And he is filling in for Patriot today. So, SLR Quattro coming to the end of Sector 2. What is he going to do here through the chicane? Got a brake. run through and then go back on the gas. He's done that perfectly. He's going to come to the end of sector 2. It is going to be a 42.5, so not bad from him. Got a break for the hairpin. I think he clipped the grass just slightly. Sticks in the second gear. Gets some good traction off. You don't want to clip the curb here. He does that just slightly. That actually slows you down just a bit, Thrasher, so that's something we'll have to watch out in the race for if anyone loses out in any battles. Now he's going to commit to the inside, back to the left side, toward the wall, now toward the 100-meter braking point, and he goes for the chicane. Can he keep it valid? I think he has so far. Very clean so far. Vapor JS sets him the first time. Here's Quarto coming to the line. What's he going to do? He's going to go second fastest, 2/10 off. Who else is on a lap? I believe we have a couple people, rather, starting laps. Breakout goes third. We have Cameron, who's invalidated. Ronnie, who's about to cross the flag, and he is going to go fastest. On a lap, Blue Goggy invalidated. Beatnik also on a lap. Let's watch him do the hairpin and complete this lap. This is his return to GSR, and if I'm correct here, Thrasher, this is his first race in GSR since the start of last season. However, last win all the way back to Season 5. It has been a long time for Beatnik as he comes to the final chicane. Can he keep this one valid? He's got to be careful on the traction. Does very well, 5th gear. I think he lost a little bit of time, but he kept it going. And Beatnik is going to go for a 3/10 off pole right now.
And Jab was on a lap and got held up by a Haas. So
And make it held up even more.
that's oh, and Jab spun.
Oh, you don't usually see that out of Jab. Spins out of turn 9. We're going to go on board with Jezzy now, who's going to start a lap in the Red Bull. Jezzy was running really well as Vapor JS is retired. Jezzy was running really well last week as he then got taken out by Davis at turn 1. I think a little bit of both their faults in that one, which resulted in a just simple points finish for Jezzy. Could have been top 5, could have been about for the podium. Now he goes through the second chicane, keeps it going, keeps it really close to the walls, and you have to do that at this track to gain time and to do well. 20.1 for the first sector for him. Now through 5, 6, 7 area, lost a little bit of time, but he keeps it going. He's okay. Now he's got to commit completely to this next chicane at the end of sector 2. Keeps it valid. It's very hard to find time here, but Jezzy's doing that. I don't think it's been the best of laps, but he's finding at least some time and keeping it going. 3rd gear in the hairpin. We've not seen that at all. However, you did see a little bit of that in the Tier 3 race because I remember myself doing that. So now DRS applied, coming to the final chicane, and he set a lap that's possibly not last. I know he's not had the best of laps, so let's see. Oh, he hits the wall coming out of the final corner, but comes to the start-finish line now. What's it going to be? It is last out of the people who've done a lap. Not so good. Who else is on a lap here? Pluto comes out of the final corner. Let's watch him again. The last time I was on board with him, he invalidated. Now, let's see what he can do. He took his return to the podium in GSR last week. There's a car coming out of the pits in front of him. Not too bad there through the first 2 corners. I think he's got this going very well for him. And I know the softs are going to be a tire people are not going to want to use too much, but very well, very committed. Continues to go through that for second chicane. 19.7, that's the best I think we've seen in the first sector. What can he do? He's being held up by an AlphaTauri. He's going to have to get out of his way. He does get out of Pluto's way right there. Now, to the final chicane of sector 2. Can he keep this going? He's not on the throttle too much yet. I think he had a little bit of a steer. A little bit loose in the rear. Now, what is it through sector 2? Is it purple? Yes, it is. 42.1. So Pluto is flying through the start of this lap. And in fact, through the hairpin, keeps it 3rd gear. Now going up the gears, keeps it going really well. In fact, Pluto, if he has anything to be excited about and anything to give him motivation, he won this race back in URS before. And you know what? He's really good in the street circuit, so hopefully he does well with that. He has a car in front of him about to start a lap, but comes to the final chicane. He's going to get a little bit of a tow with this, which isn't too bad. Comes to the start-finish line. It is 2nd fastest. Now that's 3 people within a 10th of pole sitter Ronnie.
Yeah, and I thought that was an amazing lap by Pluto, but, you know, only put some seconds, so that must tell you what a great lap Ronnie had. So that's a very interesting.
Oh, we have a car spawning right in front of
yeah,
us.
I just saw that.
Nice.
Let's just find someone else. That's on
Jab
a lap.
is about to start a lap. How about you go on board with him? By the way, I just wanted to mention as well, Beatnik also apparently has the best first sector right now. So continue with Jab.
Alright, so let's go on with the Tier 1 Dominator, it seems to be. Your boy MSU. Perfect for the first corner. It's a little bit of a shifting glitch, maybe. Beautifully done. Got really close to the wall, but is able to keep it valid. 20.0 in Sector 1, I believe the 10th off of, or maybe 10th 2 off of Pluto. Anyways,
Phoenix. And him too.
DRS activated now down the back straight. Any of the turn he actually spun off earlier in the session. Does it spin there? Back to the hairpin. 42.3 in Sector 2. It's perfect Sector 2.
There you go. Good for Jab. Keeping it going. Could be pole right now.
Ooh, nice little, pretty good with the shifting there. Now down to the second long back straight. DRS activated. Now heading into the most trickiest part of the track, the Wall of Champions. Beautifully done. Just a little bit
Wow, committed. Committed, Thrasher.
Put it on Mercedes, put it on the, no, only P4.
Wow. And even Ronnie, who's still on pole right now, is wondering, where the hell did I find this pace from? Let's go on board with him. Can he set another pole lap? He was surprised by that. And Beatnik's first sector was actually 19.6. He's invalidated, Ronnie has. Oh boy. So that's not good. We'll have to go on board with somebody else who's about to start a lap, possibly. Jacob is about to start a lap in the McLaren. We'll have to see if he can do a good sector 1, just like Beatnik did. It was 19.6 for Beatnik. So, coming to the line now, he's got his ERS charged up, and he's going to be on hot lap for this one. Coming through to turn 1, turn 2, now down to second gear, up to third, fourth very quickly, fifth, loses the rear out of there, but keeps it going, keeps it in a straight direction. What's the end of this first sector going to be as he goes through the second chicane? Can he keep it valid? Yes, he has so far. Comes to the final corner of sector 1, 19.8, so 2/10 off the best first sector. Now, fourth gear, maybe a fifth quickly. Oh, keeps it a little bit going. He has a slide. And I'm surprised that Jab is that far down as J&T goes ahead of Jab, in fact. So Jab is struggling right now. This is a surprise. A little bit of an understeer moment for Jacob. Keeps it going in a straight direction. He's yet to set a lap. 7 minutes remain. 42.4. That says the purple sector. I doubt that's true. Now, second gear, third gear, hits the wall right there. And comes to the long back straight, then the Wall of Champions. And that's going to be a corner we'll have to talk about because it could catch people out. We saw it catch out George Too Cool last night. And in fact, I got involved in it too. Lap 1. Now, Jacob. Wow, very committed. Spins it. Invalid. And that's it for him. And he spun it back around. Oh boy.
I'm lucky to still be in the session because he hit the Wall of Champions with that rear tire. So he had a pretty nice lift there.
No, I know. And that's the advantage with these newer cars, Thrasher. You get the, I guess the less damage compared to last game. Breakouts on a lap now. I'm going to watch him. Here we go. To turn 1, to turn 2. I'll have you take over halfway through the lap. Second gear. We've seen a lot of people be a mix through second and third gear through that first, second area of turns. Now, 6th for him. 4th. Very committed so far, but he's invalidated, so no point in taking over now. Taishi's also made a mistake, and he's going to have to bail out of that one.
Ronnie's on a lap.
He is on another lap.
Now the Wall of Champions was up in sector 2. It was 10th up in sector 2. Can Ronnie go even faster? The Red Bull, he does go faster by another 10.
Impressive from the reserve. Unbelievable. And you know what? He didn't expect to have this pace. He was in Tier 2 last season, in fact. And he is now currently on pole. Pluto to the first sector, 2/10 down. Quattro on an outlap. I think Jab is coming back out. And this could be possibly the last run for Jab, who knows. Beatnik goes fastest now. There you go, 76,000 separating him and Ronnie. So they're both wondering probably where that pace has come from. Axe F1 yet to set a lap back to the pits. Blue Doggy has spun. Lizard invalid. Breakout, or Blue Gorgon invalid. Taishi invalid. Breakout invalid. Man, we are seeing a lot of trouble in these sessions. So far, Quattro, I think, is the closest one to start a lap. And we'll go on board with him because he is currently 8th and closest to starting a lap. So, through the final chicane, you gotta keep it valid, you gotta keep it going. And he has done so. So he will keep this lap valid. Comes to the start-finish line. And right now he's 8th. I have to ask during this lap, Thrasher, are we surprised about the running order right now? We have Pluto, who's really fast in this tier, 3rd. Jab, who's really fast, 6th. I mean, I have to ask, are we shocked as he invalidates?
I'm very shocked, especially from, Ronnie. Tier 2 driver last season. Hasn't really made a lot of stunts in GSR the past couple of seasons, and he's out here. I mean, was the fastest for about 10 minutes in the session, and obviously now second to Beatnik, but it's not like he's too far off. He's only 76,000 off of Beatnik. So
and Chab has bailed it back to the pits as well, so he's only gonna get one final run to go for this pole. So your Tier 1 champion from last season and your championship leader struggling in this session. Gosh, how about you go on board with Kaj? Kaj is on a lap now, and he is currently 9th place. He's not had a good first 2 races for sure, and you know what? He has struggled a lot. However, good pace from his car.
Yeah, so nice good first 2 corners for Kaj. Great set of corners there. 19.6.
That's actually better than Phoenix's first sector. Yeah.
So now Kai's on a long back straight. Now into, I believe it's turn 8 and then turn 9. Yep, have a turn 9. A little bit understeer there. It's back, and then the sector 2 is a 42.0. That looks like a great lap from Kaj. If he
might not be pole, but it could be second row. Go ahead, sorry.
If he can get this final straight down and then into a great wall of champions, it's going to be a top 5 lap from Kaj. Currently sitting 3-9. Now into the wall of champions he goes. Beautifully done.
Committed.
Kaj in the Alpha point. 1P9. It's now P2.
There you go, front row for him. We are winding up on the final 3 minutes of this session, and Axe F1 has still yet to set a lap. Jab has still yet to crack the top 5 in the remaining minutes. Oh boy, here comes Axe F1 and the Alpine. Does not have his full-time teammate here. He's got Lizard here today. Axe commits through turn 2. Third gear, I mentioned that was going to happen. It has already. He's one of the only drivers to do that. Maybe better acceleration. Now, to the second chicane. Oh, keeps it going. A little loose there. What's it going to be? A 19.4. That's fastest out of anybody so far. Axe F1 is flying. Here he comes through the chicane. Oh, he hits the wall. Oh, but he keeps it going. This is very committed of a lap from Axe. Can he keep this going through the final chicane of Sector 2, though? At the sector split, oh my god, he's committing to the curbs. He's lucky enough not to spin so far, because you know those curbs get you loose and step around out. It's a 41.7. I don't think it was purple, but it's still a really good lap so far. Second gear, third gear, now out of the hairpin. Oh, he loses the rear. Now he's got to go to the wall of champions and commit beautifully in order to get himself up to the front row. It is very close, in fact, between the top 3. Axe F1 yet to set a lap. This could be his only lap. What's he gonna do? Flies to the chicane, very committed, touches the wall just barely. Can he keep this going? Onto the run to the line. Can it be front row? It is the pole. 3/10 for Axe F1. Jab is on a lap. We're gonna focus on him because he is the championship leader in this tier right now. 50 points in the start of the season, 2 wins, 2 podiums. In fact, can it be another pole for him? He's gonna go 41.7, 5/10 up. That could be front row. And commits beautifully through the hairpin. Third gear, touches the curb on the left side. That could loosen him a couple thousands, but that might not matter for Jab. What is he gonna do? Entering the wall of champions, the final chicane. He's gotta commit just like he did last time. He's gonna be on a run for a pole here, and it will definitely be a front row if he keeps it valid. Comes to the final chicane, not as committed as last time, but he keeps this valid. What's it gonna be for Jaboli MSU? It is gonna be the front row, 13 thousandths. Oh boy, that is just so close to pole.
So close.
Oh. I mean, he's just, you gotta think, maybe that hairpin there out of the chicane, or sorry, out of the hairpin there, the curb on the left side could be what costed him pole. We saw Blue Goggy sliding right there on his outlap. We have both Alfa Romeos on an outlap. The final minute of this session, 15 drivers have set a lap. We saw some improve there. There you go, second row for Ronnie again. Who's starting a lap? Blue Goggy, will focus on him. Nick is on a lap, but Blue Goggy is going to be the next one to start a lap. Axe F1 is retired, so he cannot set another lap, and he is going to be good for pole. Blue Goggy invalidates. He cannot set a lap. He will start plumb last. Jacob's on a lap. Lizard on a lap. Both them on laps. Third gear through for Jacob through turn 2. And there you go. Oh, we have an improvement of somebody. I think that was Beatnik, or no, not Beatnik, Quartro, who has crossed the flag, or I couldn't tell who it was, but 19-9 to the end of second one for Jacob. It's going to be the last runs they get. Is Jab on a lap still? Is Jab trying to improve? No, Jab will not improve, in fact. So Axe F1 has beaten his rival Jab. So we found that out.
Yeah, Beatnik coming to the world champions.
We're 10th up right now. Invalidates!
Oh,
Oh, that is the end for him. In his quest for pole, J&T also backs off as well. Cameron, a 10th up right now. Davis as well. Cameron, a 10th up. Jab's teammate. Can he set it in the top 5? Loses the rear? Possibly not. Oh,
Breakout to the line.
What's it going to be for breakout? Up to 15th right now. Well, he improved to the top 10, just outside of it. For Gorgon, Jacob on laps. Jacob's going to set a lap that's only 11th best. Cameron on a lap. We've been flickering through the drivers because a lot of people have been really making mistakes or having interesting sessions. Brew Gorgon's going to go 11th. What is Cameron going to do now? Can Cameron go up there? He's just shy of the top 10. And Blue Goggy's been disqualified as well, even though he wasn't going to be able to set a lap. Well, there you go. There's that. Axe F1 on pole. He's the one to break Jeb's pole streak here. 13,000s.
Yeah, we're only in qualifying, and we have a 13,000 separate Axe and Jab. Can we just imagine right now what's going to be happening in the race?
Ronnie could be on for his first podium. Beat Nick as well. Return to the podium. Kaj as well. Good pace. He's got to keep that going. Interesting session here, Thrasher. I have to say, with what I've seen, you knew if anybody was going to beat Jab for pole. You knew the gap was going to be close. However, did you expect it to be Axe? I did, personally. We have the lineup now for qualifying and for this race. Axe F1 on pole. Jab on his front row. Then rounding out the top 5 is Ronnie, Beatnik, Kaj. Then rounding out the top 10 is Quartro, Fatagi, Bluto, Vapor.js, and J&T. Outside this top 10, last week's podium sitter, Brute, Davis, and I could not see the rest there. I noticed Taishi was outside the top 10, Gagi, Lizard. I don't know the rest, but there you go. Were you surprised at all that it was Axe F1 at all, or no?
No, not really. I mean, it's Axe. I don't know what more you want. I mean, Axe is just, he's one of the most talented drivers that I've ever met on this game. I've ever raced with on this game. You know, Axe he's esports, for crying out loud.
Yeah,
I mean, that right there should tell you something. But something else to point out, the top 13 drivers, all separated by just under 8/10.
Not bad. I know it's a shorter track, but still impressive. Shows that everyone's still on their form.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the only thing is, obviously, there was a 2/10 gap between Jab and P2 and Ronnie and P3. So technically, P3 to P13, 5/10 was the gap. But still, just outstanding.
We're going to be in for an interesting race because we saw Jab struggles in quali, so we'll have to see if they transfer over to the race. I doubt that'll happen, but we'll see. Everybody is either starting on the medium or hard tires, and in fact, people mentioned in the chat, I want your predictions for the race, but I see you guys pointed out before I could. USA 1, 2, 3, 4, in fact, so it's a good job by them, representing America very well. In fact, Axe, Beatnik, Kaj, Quartro, J&T, and Gagi, all in the mediums. Everybody else is starting on the hards. I'm going to go through 2 favorites in this race that I have. Axe F1, we mentioned that this is a wheel track. He mentioned that this is a wheel track. Jab mentioned that it is. And you know what? Axe F1, who is on wheel, is looking to stomp on Jab's 2 wins in a row and take a fight to this championship. And the fight for 3 we've always mentioned. Axe could be the one to do it today. He's one of my favorites for sure. I'm going to also go with Pluto in 8th place. I think he has a chance because he's really good in street circuits. And his wins in my league, in fact, the 2 leagues, or the 2 wins, have come on street circuits. So I think Pluto is favored in that aspect. He's just got to keep it out of trouble, avoid the lap 1 trouble, and I think if he goes hard mediums here, which I think he could, or he goes hard softs, I think if he goes either one of those, he could be set up for a really good race. Your 2 favorites now, Thrasher.
Yeah, I'm not going to pick Jab because I want to make it a little bit more interesting. But I will take Beatnik starting P4. Beatnik makes his return to GSR. Absolutely stellar for lap P4. And last machine on the mediums. He could see possibly in contention for this podium battle with Ronnie, Axe, and Jab. Even though Beatnik and Axe were medium and Jab and Ronnie are on hards. And I'm going to go Brute, Peach Balls. Brute on the podium last week. His first podium in quite some time. Like you said, momentum. Momentum always carries, and I know Brute personally. He likes to ride off. Okay, well, he likes to ride off a little bit of obviously not off the race map. But I think they're gone. I don't know if he can get back on the podium, but he can get close to it and just score some great points for Alfa Romeo. He desperately need it.
Most definitely. Here we come for the 5 red lights. We are waiting for this Grand Prix to start. It is going to be 5 red lights here at Canada. It is lights out and away we go. Axe F1 pointed to the right side of the grid and going to try to cover off Jab. I think there was a decent start from the woods behind it. Beatnik as well. Axe F1 and Jab going to go side by side. Jab taking the lead before turn 1. And in fact, they make contact. Jab going ahead. Jab has to keep the traction going. He is going to go ahead and he's going to stay ahead. Beatnik up to 3rd. Pluto already up to 5th. Already a good start by them. And your positions being traded throughout the field. It is Jab who leads Axe. Then to Beatnik. Fatagi and Pluto rounding out the top 5. We have trouble at the back of the field. Breakout. Taishi. We have a big collision. Jacob's involved. We have a safety car, I believe. Or, sorry, that's a virtual safety car.
Yeah, I didn't quite see what happened.
Now it's a safety car. Upgraded to a full safety car.
Why
does it not show safety car for me? Just shows sectors.
Yeah, that's what it should for me. Yellow sector, yellow sector.
Yeah, and at least just stream it showed safety car for him. So I'm going to have to ask him about that before tomorrow. Either way, Taishi, Jacob, Breakout, they're going to have to pit for new front wings. They have a bunch of damage after the opening lap. And you know what? Not the start they wanted for sure. And they both all started, or they in fact all started on the hard tires. Davis also has no front wing. He mentioned the Ferrari chat before this race. I just want to stay out of trouble. And I think he's not done that very well so far.
Yeah. You know, it's unlucky for Davis. You know, he got involved in that incident with last week with what's his name, Jesse.
Yeah.
So which gave him a 5-second coming into this race. So obviously he wanted to try and do everything he can to get as much spots so we didn't have to really worry about the 5-second, but not a great start to 21. But speaking of great starts, I mean, what a start from Jab.
Yeah,
I mean,
and oh God.
I was saying, I mean, he did what he needed to do. He got off the line better than Axe. He had the later breaker going into turn 1, and look where it put him. It put him in on the inside in the turn 2, and Jab took the lead.
Just trying to turn on the safety car setting there where it shows the safety car. I cannot do that. Either way, I think by the end of this lap or by the end of next lap we'll be in for the restart. Lap 2 out of 35. Let's check who's gained the spots already. Pluto, as mentioned, gained 3. Fatagi gained 3. 2 for Vapor. 3 for Breakout. And in fact, losing a ton of spots was Kai. She had a horrible start. I saw Beatnik already get off the line better than him, and I was like, oh boy. 8 spots lost for Kai. 2 spots lost for Quarcho. 3 for Ronnie, but he's still running inside the top 7. And I think that's it, besides everybody else throughout the field. Gagi, who started last, Lizard, who started second to last, all gained 4 spots.
Yeah, and some other drivers gained some spots. You know, Brute picked up a spot, Cameron picked up a spot, Jan-T picked up a spot, Buddha picked up 3, Abtalgi picked up 3, Paper picked up 2. So, you know, those guys got off the line really well.
Good to see, and already making the mandatory pit stop is everybody else outside the top 12. Whether changing front wings, I think Davis is going on to a different set of tires. I think this is the hards. So he wants to continue his quest in the hards. Maybe go softs at the end. Maybe go mediums. And maybe he's thinking of a 2-stop. Maybe it somehow magically rains out of nowhere. I mean, it's been sunny all day and it's raining outside my house now. So I don't know. Things happen. Code Masters happen too. So we've seen a lot of that happen. Jacob also onto the hards as well. They have pitted, well, re-pitted for hards because that's what tire they want to be on. They want to extend. They were already running plumb last anyway, so there was really, I mean, no point of staying out for them. However, they should be able to catch a safety car by the time it will be in, which should be the end of this lap.
Yep. You know, like you were saying, you know, interesting from Davis as he went back to 1-2 the hards.
Yes.
You know, we'll see what happens. Maybe he'll just take them as long as he can and go sauce. Safety cars in this lap.
There you go. So, Jab will lead this restart once again. He got ahead of X in the start. He's got to stay ahead of X in the restart now. He is in control of this pace, and he controls when everyone else goes. Beatnik, by the way. Oh, he's left this session. X! Oh, that's not going to be a good restart for him. He's got to get back in. You're going to have to give him an invite. But Jab still leads this restart regardless of that, and he will be in control. However, this does make his life easier. Jab coasting 80 miles per hour, waiting to go. Now he's going to go. He's going to go now, actually. Will the game limit him? I think the safety car is in the pits now, so he is good as he enters the final chicane. He is the leader. He can take this very conservative. Beatnik goes up to second. Will he have to give the place back, though, even though Gax's car was ghosted? Not sure. However, Jab still leads this Grand Prix in the restart. 4/10. We have a crash. Quattro, they're crashing on the front straightaway. There's a lot of damage between a couple of people. Front wings flying. Beatnik's got a 5-second penalty for, in fact, ignoring the yellow flag right there because of Ax's ghosted car. And now, Fatagi has to give that spot back. This is creating a mess between the field. I think a couple of people in the front have damage. Ronnie might be one of them. He had to let Vapor by. Oh, he spun! Oh. And he's out! Oh!
And
no!
Lizard's out.
Lizard is too! Oh my goodness. Brute Gorgon's involved. I think Breakout could have damage. He has no front wing. And we have trouble once again in the back of the field. Oh my god. Brute with no front wing. Breakout with no front wing. Oh my god, it's an Alfa Romeo disaster class. This Jab still continues to lead over Beatnik.
Yeah, it would be wondering what we'll have to do with Beatnik last second. Obviously he got a passing gas, but, you know.
Oh, another crash. Kai's just around. That's not good for his race. He's got double the trouble. And I hope he got Axe back in.
Yeah, I sent him an invite.
J&T pitting, he's got front wing. I think he was a part of the front wing as Beatnik sets the fastest lap on the first full lap of green flag racing. And here we go. Davis also gaining spots from that. He started the back, so did Jacob on that restart. They pitted again for hard, so this is advantage toward them. Fatagi, Breakout, Brute, all pitting again to change front wings or tires. Who knows what it is. There's been a lot of calamity at the start of this race, and I will tell you right now, it could very well change the championship standings for sure, and the way the podium running order will be.
Yeah, Bugatti took the
13 spots?
Yeah, Bugatti took the 13 spots. And we started dead last. And now fell the trouble. He took the 13 spot. And Brute got this one. So I had to let him back.
Oh boy. Well, I didn't get a notification for that either way. Jesse, Davis, they run close together once again. Last time we saw them run close together, they ended up in a collision last week. And in fact, this is for 8th place now. And Jesse using the ERS in the slipstream with Davis. Here he goes. Which way does he pull? He pulls to the right side before the Wall of Champions, before the final chicane. Is he going to be able to pull this move off? Slides right in front of Davis. He is able to pull the move off, and he is far ahead of Davis by now as Vapor JS now sets the fastest lap of this race. Axe is back in.
And Davis, Jesse. I mean, you know what happened there last week. You know, glad we didn't see another between the two. But you know, we have for the lead, somewhat 5 tenths between Jab and Beatnik with the DRS. A little bit too far back to make the move, but Beatnik got on that curb way too much. It slows him way down, and now Pluto's going to compete for P2.
Apologies, I was focusing on the tier 1 chat because I had a ping there for a moment, but Beatnik is losing time to Jab, and now Pluto gaining time on him. ERS deployed for Beatnik. Pluto in the DRS. What's it going to be for Pluto in order to pass him? What's he going to need? It'll be double DRS, in fact. Beatnik won't have that because he wasn't close enough to Jab right there. Here comes Pluto back at it. DRS for him. 4/10 still that gap. And you remember, Beatnik does have that 5-second penalty. Whether that gets removed post-race, we'll find out. Jacob, Davis, Axe, Kaj, all within DRS here. Axe not, but they've got a little train formed between the four of them, and the Hinja points for them.
Yeah, sorry, I saw you kind of have to hear the game.
Yeah, I saw the same thing too. We have a flag. That's Cameron on the race, and he's binned it. Oh, at a turn 7, and that's now out our second safety car for this race.
Is it a full course or is it a virtual?
Yes, it is. It's a full course safety car.
It's
I'm usually able to tell by the pits with the yellow car.
Okay. Yeah, I see that now.
But will any of the leaders pit early? What do they do? Well, this race has played out so chaotically so far. And it's on reduced safety car too, so obviously starting at street circuits is, I guess, a part of that. Beatnik pits. Yeah, there you go. So this will be interesting to see how the rest of this race plays out. He's the only one in the top 5 to pit, in fact. Paishi coming in. Well, now we have 15 runners left in this race. Surprisingly, both Alfa Romeos left in this. I felt bad for them because they both got involved in the start accident. In fact, they both also got involved in the next accident after that. So not the best races for them. However, never give up attitude. We've seen how that has worked here in GSR. And with the way these safety cars roll, with the way penalties roll at this track, I'm surprised not many drivers have track limit penalties. That is the way this race could play out.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Axe pits, have talkies in, breakouts in. But yeah, unlucky Alfa Romeos. I had just talked about commentators versus. I swear it's only me. I was talking about
doubt that.
It happens every week.
Well, with me too, but with this league, it's a lot of you. You're not wrong with that.
Brute was one of my favorites, and he just kept getting stuck in trouble, and nothing he could really do. Just drown the P14.
Here,
so
we got this. You curse all the you curse all the American people. I'll curse all the Europeans.
Well, Brute's not American, so that's not how it works.
Well, the U.S. people, whatever. I mean, he's technically American.
Oh, just stop. Do the North American people.
Yeah, there you go. That works. So, I mean, we got this race halted once again with the safety car, and I have to say, I'm very surprised about Bulgogi right now because he's up to 4th. I mean, with all the chaos, I'm not surprised, but however, I am surprised because he has been able to climb his way up on lap 9, up 14, 15 spots. So impressive from him. And you know what? I know a lot of people talk about all the time, especially a couple people in the tier or admins, oh my god, we should restart. However, my personal opinion of that is you can't restart for every game glitch. There's a lot of game glitches that are going to happen that's uncontrollable. Just, you can't restart for every single one. However, if it's bad enough to where it's breaking the lobby, I get that. I do. I understand people wanting a restart because, it's screwed their race or whatever, or the amount of glitches. However, F1 2021, and I think you could agree with this, Thrasher, it was more so able to have maybe 1 or 2 glitches a race, small glitches, but you were able to avoid most of the lobby trouble that we've had in this game. This game, it seems like it's glitch non-stop. Oh, a lap? Oh, another glitch. So it's another day, another glitch, it seems. Or another minute, another glitch. And I understand that. I do understand the driver's frustration. However, I don't think a restart's required for every single one, though. That's just my opinion. I think that's how it feels. The safety car's in. What's your thoughts quickly as we come in?
Yeah, real quickly. Yeah, no, I agree. And everyone is, bashing F1 21 on how bad the glitches were, but this is by far worse with glitches. And I understand glitches make sure your game, but there's something that the lobby or us athletes can do other than
right.
I mean,
watch it happen.
We have a spinner. Beatnik.
There you go. That is going to hinder his race. He looked like he was going to be on new hard tires. When does Jab choose to go? Leads over Pluto. Enters the final chicane. He is going now, in fact. Oh, Pluto slides off the final corner. Vapor JS is going to go by, but he has to let him back by. And here's Blugagi taking advantage of this. He's going to go down the inside for third place. They're going to be 3 wide for a moment. Here's Pluto staying ahead, making contact. Is Vapor and Blugagi. Now Jezzy trying to pounce. Gagi's going to go around the outside of Vapor as Vapor struggles.
I love this aggression right now from Blugagi after starting towards the back. Usually, if you first Blugagi before, sometimes he's way too aggressive, but that's the type of aggression right there
that he needs. And everyone likes to see. Here comes Jacob on the back of Davis. A little bit of a struggle from Jezzy, which has put him behind Vapor and has almost put him out of DRS before it's already enabled. J&T also on the back of this train as well, at the very back, very close to Fatagi. Axe trying to gain spots. He'll be up to 8th right now with everything that's happened after his lag out.
Yeah, unlucky.
That was Kaj who went down the inside of Jacob there, thought about it for a moment, now ducks behind Jacob, and he's going to use his overtake and try to get by. No, he doesn't, actually. He's going to stay behind. Smart move. Be patient, play the long game. That's what these guys are going to have to do, and especially considering this track is one for... We'll have to watch that. Here comes Axe F1 on the first of his comeback drive. We've seen him do that here at Canada back in Season 2 of GSR. In fact, Season 3 too. Axe goes by Taishi for 9th place, and he is now up to 9th on track, 8th on penalties.
Yeah. Oh, spinner. It's Kagi! No!
We were just complimenting him too, and now there's a safety car? I mean, I understand it with the no front wing, or at least a virtual safety car. A full safety car. I understand the point of glitches at that point that'll bring out a safety car. However, if it's the glitch it brings out a safety car every lap, then there's a need for a restart. However, if this is... Hey, at this point, get the safety cars out of the way and let's just get to racing. That's my point at this point, if that is the case. That's weird. Wow.
And we were just
talking about him.
About how Gagi's been so good, and I was the one who really brought it up. If
what a bummer.
This isn't proof that I'm the biggest commentator first.
Well, I said it too. I said it too.
Yeah, but I was the one who brought it up first.
You were, so that's put a stop to his comeback, and I think we have Taishi who's pitting. Gagi is pitting. I think they probably have some sort of damage or are electing to go to a new tire. One of the two. Yep. Gagi repairs damage. Taishi goes to new tires, so bummer for them. Then it's still 15 runners left in this race. But the podium is much different. Usually I think that the fastest 3 on the podium, or the fastest 4 who you'd expect on the podium, would be anywhere from Jab, Pluto, Kaj, and Axe. However, that outlier who is not there because of Axe and Kaj is Vapor JS, who has probably been 5th fastest out of those guys this season so far. He's been performing pretty well, and I know he had to struggle on the safety car restart, but now this where he is back onto the podium.
Yeah, you're right. Obviously, like you were saying earlier, with 4 guys, Jab, Pluto, Kaj, Axe, there's 4. We have Jab and Pluto 1 and 2, Axe was up there and had to lag out. He's going to come back. And Kaj right in front of him. Kaj with 3 seconds, but still, I one driver, and I'm telling you it's going to happen again. So I really don't want to say this because I know I'm going to curse him. But last season, Tier 2 champ Vapor JS started in currently T3. Honestly, last season, Tier 2 champ, went in Tier 1 this season and has absolutely, impressed me so far. Obviously, we're not even halfway. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, 12 laps in, and I've already been impressed with Vapor.
Yeah, I am too with his pace, and I am too with the fact he's been this far up and kept it there. Let's hope he can do so. I mean, I know he's had a lot of struggles in these races, so you know what, Tier 2 champ from last season? I'm rooting for you. And I'm rooting for Aston Martin too, because you know what? I don't know if many of the commentators have brought it up, but Wingo's team. You know, Wingo's team last season, Mercedes, the team I was a part of, in fact, won the combined constructors. They go from winning the combined constructors to having probably the god-awful worst luck in the first 2 races. I mean, can anybody have any worse luck than Aston Martin right now? I've not seen a team with that bad of luck. And I want to say 90% of the crashes I've saw aren't their fault. So it's unfortunate, it's unlucky, and you know what? I really hope I don't curse them. So VaporJS, JNT, give Wingo something to watch here, I hope, as we do have the safety car coming in this lap. And hopefully they do give something to watch. Jab leads the safety car restart once again. I'll have you take it over once we get closer for the safety car heading to the pits. I do want to mention Brute pitted again. However, he is on a used set of hards, and I think he is going to try to go hard softs. We are seeing more clouds form. I don't think that's a sign of rain, but we'll see if it is. You take it away, Thrasher, for the safety car restart that Jab leads once again.
Alright, so Jab leads from Pluto, from Vapor, from Jesse, from Davis. It's your top 5. So, well, when does the Mercedes go is the question. He's gone a little bit early both. He's gone early the first time. He went a little late the second time. And he goes now. Great start. Oh, Pluto gets really sideways out of World Champions. It's over a 1.2 second gap. And what a start from Jab. Here comes Vapor down the inside. Vapor backs off. But what a start from Jab.
I had to check the settings for a moment for Buchan. Can you check if the safety car is on reduce for me? I don't want to do that. Well, there's a battle. Then speaking of battles, the pass of Blue Guggy re-overtakes Blue Guggy. Kaij and Axe are side by side. Axe has to back out of that one, as Axe now loses the battle to Kaij. He's in an AlphaTauri sandwich and getting a challenge from Fatagi. And who's also behind him is J&T, B-Nick, Blue Guggy, all in a battle. There's Taishi going ahead of Brute. Now Brute going ahead of Breakout. All positions are being traded right here.
Yeah, it's on reduced.
Restart. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. We have a crash. J&T. It's the Aston Martin again. Oh, what have I said?
Good to know I'm not the only one.
Kaij goes by Jacob. Jacob side by side out of the hairpin. They're gonna both be wheel to wheel as we head to the back straight. Here's Jacob excelling ahead, overtaking Gage. He's got the more shoreline speed. He's going to keep the spot for now into the chicane, or is Kai's going to make a move? No, he stays behind. So, oh, he's so close to the World Champions, and that's going to allow Axe to go through, possibly. Axe ducks to the left side. He goes through, looks like. Can he go fully through? Axe is ahead for now. Oh, there's contact! Oh. Pluto's Barrett Davis has been spun around. I think there's an accordion effect, and now that's VaporJS around in the other Aston Martin.
I literally said I know I'm going to curse it.
Both Aston Martins too, and Davis is now outside of the points from all this. Oh my God.
I'm gonna have to stop commentating. I'm gonna have to just retire.
Jab is now out to a 1.3 second lead ahead of Pluto. Behind that's Jezzy 2.4. He's ran a good race. And now Axe, who could potentially have some sort of damage from all that. I think he might, but he's got to do good if he does have the damage. He does have end plate damage. Oh, he's been spun!
I thought we just... Okay. That's,
And Axe is stuck right there. He's got to get back going. I think he's waiting for all the cars to go through. Don't get disqualified. There you go. Now that's going to put Pataki up to 4th. Oh, that's why. Maybe lagged out?
I don't know if that may have been a rage quit.
Whether a rage quit or a lag out. I don't think Axe is usually the one to rage quit. Another move being made. Brute and Taishi. Brute goes through for 8th place. He's getting challenged while Taishi's on the rear gearbox. He's right up his rear. And now Brute stays ahead for 8th place.
Great restart from Brute. Obviously, cars spinning, but Brute after starting these 15.
I know Clarkson mentioned in the chat, obviously, driving standards. That's one for you. So I know that'll be looked at from the stewards afterwards, and that'll be a frustration from more. Batagi is now close to the back of Jezzy for this podium spot. This is a battle on track, because keep in mind, Fatagi does have that penalty. He's running the back of him just slightly. Now does he get the exit of the haircut he needs? I think running the back can help that a little bit. Overtake engaged, and here he comes. This back straight will be the closest he can do to making a move with DRS enabled. Now, here he goes. Is he making a move now? Pluto's got a penalty now at the chicane. Here goes Fatagi around the outside. They make contact. Fatagi has to cut the chicane, and they're going to be side by side the exit. Now here comes Kaj. 2 and 1. He's going to be side by side with Jesse entering turn 1. Side by side. Is he going to keep his nose still in there? Yes, he does, but he's got the penalty at the expense of that. Now, his teammate bumping in the back of him. They're going to be 3 wide. Kaj around the outside. He's going to go ahead. Oh my goodness. What a move.
Very aggressive racing, but what a move, Kaj.
I have to say, good and smart thinking from Kaj. I know at last season he got a rest of the season ban at the end of last season in Tier 2 for an intentional crash, and I would say a lot of, truthfully, not so smart thinking. That time, he shows, he matures through it, he's up to the podium, even with the penalty on track, so he has showed that was a smart move, and he has improved.
Jacob
is now retired. Is this going to bring out a safety car? We are waiting if there will be yellow flags. However, we do not see any just yet. Fatagi now in the back of his teammate once again. 3/10 that gap. He's going to have double DRS now to the final chicane. Does he get the traction? Does he get the exit?
Didn't interrupt you, but Beatnik with a beautiful move past Jesse.
Here's his teammate now, Blugagi. Blugagi right behind, side by side at turn 1. JNT's got a penalty. Now Blugagi pushes Jesse out wide. Jesse has to take the run off. Blugagi is going to go back through. So will Brute too.
What a move by Brute. That was out of nowhere.
AlphaTauri. Good moves by them. Good moves by Brute. Good moves by Haas. I know the AlphaTauri members. Jesse's off track. I know the AlphaTauri members in the chat are definitely applauding their races so far. I know Morgan Cheeseman's also watching. He's definitely the moves Haas have made, the recovery they've made after their spins. Now Taishi with a penalty. He's inside the top 10. So make sure you get an invite back to Axe.
Yeah, I've sent him 2.
Okay, make sure you send him another one. We have Beatnik, who made a move last lap on Jesse, who's now close to the back of Fatagi and Kaj, both the AlphaTauri teammates, and this is the battle for the podium. Beatnik would have this off penalties right now. However, he wants to get this on track and maybe challenge Pluto, who's 8 seconds up the road. Now, out of the final chicane, not much of moves being made, but there is one behind. Here's Brute on Blugagi. We have a retirement from Jesse. Jesse's out of the race. Now, is that going to bring out a safety car? I think it has. And this race has been halted once again. It is a full safety car, I believe. Yes, it is. Oh, dear. Axe said he's not rejoining. So Axe has rage quit, actually. My statements were wrong. Boy. And I know a lot of the things that the Tier 1 coordinators were talking about before the race and on race day are going to have to go in question. I know Buchan talked about it. Driving standards, keep it clean. I have to say, as commentator, I don't think they've been horrible, but they've not been great from a commentator point of view. I don't know what they think from a driver point of view. However, I don't think it's pretty. Good job, pits. This is the first of the pit stops. Here comes Pluto, looking to go to the medium tires. It is getting much more cloudier, so this will suit the medium tires, the more harder compound tires. Kaj is in. Batagi's going to double stack, in fact, and Beatnik stays out right now. He's on 11 lap hards. He will inherit the lead. Everybody.
Yeah, sorry, just
okay.
Looking through Tier 1 general, and we got a couple guys saying they don't want to race anymore, so, you know, I understand, guys. Yeah, you know, guys, I understand the racing isn't great, but, I mean,
I do understand their frustration. I think it is actually reasonable. Vapor JS with a 3-second penalty. And to be unbiased and to be critical, but reasonably critical and fairly critical, as JNT also stays out with Beatnik, I have to say the driving standards aren't great. You know what? For people who are in leagues where driving standards aren't great for a long period of time, you sort of get sick of it. And you know what? I don't think the driving standards are the only thing that is a problem. I think the game glitches are too, so they have a reason to be frustrated. And if they do leave, the driving standards aren't going to be the only reason. Game glitches is going to be probably the second reason, or the reason above that. So I do understand where they come from. So I just wanted to iterate on that, my thoughts. I also wanted to say as well, I don't think driving standards are always as bad as this in GSR. I don't think it's usually this bad. However, it's just drivers getting desperate. Just drivers getting desperate. A lot of game glitches factoring into it. I think also, I know this sounds really stupid, and people think about it if you are a driver for a minute, and think about it if you are watching this race. Game glitches, restarts, maybe league management from just other leagues. I know I'm not saying GSR, but I'm saying other leagues, because I have seen it happen before, and it has happened in fact because of restarts that have happened in GSR toward me, or actually from my personal experience. It sort of does make you drive frustrated. And I think that's what happened with a lot of these drivers. They see a lot of these game glitches, and they're like, alright, I'm sick and tired of this. Let me drive like an angry person. And you know what? I see that a lot. I see it happen time and time again. I know people are going to say, wow, you sound really stupid, but you know what? It is true. If there is a restart, or if there are game glitches, or just simple frustration that you're seeing from anything, maybe even just small driving standards, you get frustrated. You start to drive angry, and it shows. It really shows. So there you go. Why did JNT try to re-overtake Pluto there for a moment? I don't like calls a 5-second. We'll find out if it does. However, Thrasher, quick thought from you? Oh, I see your thing in chat.
I mean,
I'm not wrong.
no, but I'll add Pluto, you got a 5-second.
There you go. I was right.
No, but this is, like I said, you pretty much nailed it. But I'll actually with that.
I think we
Welcome back,
Taishi and Fag with Takagi on the safety car. I see him still ghosted, so I don't know. If we don't get the safety car coming in this lap, Thrasher, I do want you to them take it away. Davis has got to drive through for falling too far back.
What?
I've not seen that one in a while, but he has a broken front wing. Oh dear. I don't know what I've seen in this race, but absolute chaos.
What am I watching?
Absolute chaos.
This game makes me like
Question yourself?
yeah.
Question life? I don't know. I've seen a lot of that. Phoenix still the leader. Then it's Jab, Pluto, JNT, and then Kaj. And it is Davis is pitting, Taishi is pitting. And Axe is back in the session. You are right, I think. I do see him unghosted. It's not saying names at the bottom of the screen for me. I don't get that. But, like, I think he's got a throttle glitch as well. Because, look. He's, like, braking on the straight. Like, look at how he's braking. He's got a throttle glitch, I think. This could be big. I don't know. We'll see. Either that or he's saving fuel. Or, no, he's burning fuel, excuse me. Because that's how you burn fuel. So, one of the two. Either way, Thrasher, take it away quickly. As the safety car will come in this lap, I think.
This game just continues to amaze me. I've never seen a drive-through for falling so far. But, you know, it's gonna master. It's EA. We've all had our fair shares of issues with both companies. Anyways, let's get off that real quick. So, Beat It is your current leader. Then you have Jab, Pluto, Shanty, Kaj, Brute, Gagi, F-Toggy, Breakout, Vapor, your top 10. Safety car is in the slot. Beat Nick, Jab, no penalties. Pluto, James, Kaj with penalties. Brute, Gagi, they have no penalties. F-Toggy with a penalty. Breakout with no penalties, and Vapor. So, 5 drivers in the top 10 with no penalties.
Here we go for the safety car restart. Thrasher, take him away. It's a different leader than Jab for once. It's Beatnik now.
Yeah, Beatnik after spinning the last safety car. From spinning from 4th on the restart to which was 15th. But now Beatnik goes. Tried to Jab does what he does. Where did the start Jab did, but it's a good enough start to where he doesn't have to worry about guys down in 1. Pluto, or not, sorry, Kai, yeah, Pluto and Kai's contact.
Or sorry, Pluto and Jab right there. That was for
Or sorry,
second
Pluto and
place.
Jab, my bad.
And I saw something that was very interesting on this restart. Kaj and JNT, maybe an illegal overtake right there. Axe goes by Fatagi. Now Axe on Blugagi. Goes through on the inside. 2-1 on the safety car restart in the first sector. Not bad from Axe. And you see these guys in the soft tire, they're definitely pushing it now. However, they got to make sure they can make it to the end on the tire. Here's Brute on JNT. Can he switch him back? Gagi goes through on Fatagi. They're 3 wide. They're making contact. They keep it clean, though. Vapor goes through on Fatagi, and Fatagi goes through on Blugagi. And now Brute goes through on JNT. We're seeing battles throughout the whole field. Now, Breakout stays ahead of Axe for the moment being. Kaishi with a penalty. Here's Axe with overtake. This is 3-1 lap for Axe. On the soft tires, Axe brakes late, brakes hard, and goes through. Now Breakout trying to switch back. Can he do it? No, he can't. Unbelievable racing.
Absolutely. I mean, Axe obviously on the fresh sauce. But I mean, that was absolutely beautiful to watch. Farther up towards the front, we got a nice little 4-car train for the lead here. Beatnik, Jab, Pluto, Kai, Axe for the fastest lap. I was going with us. But Jab's all over that could beat it.
And 3/10 already between them. Axe F1 with that amazing lap right there. 3-1 lap, and he's going to take another one. Here's JNT. There you go. And in fact, JNT was on 19-lap hard. He was someone who stayed out right there. His next quest is Brute. Fatagi pits onto the soft tires as well. He's going to probably make it to the end here if he's careful. However, making it to the end of being careful is Beatnik, because those hard tires should last the whole way. However, they'll be really worn, and he may not be as fast enough as Jab. However, he's doing a good job pulling him off so far.
Yeah, just... Ooh.
I think he hit the back of him there.
Here.
Wait, we got a battle for the lead. Jab looked on Beatnik for a moment. Beatnik was able to hold him off. Is Beatnik going to be able to hold him off heading in the chicane, or is Jab going to make a move? Cannot do so yet. He has to try to get the traction out of the chicane. Jab lost time, and so did Pluto, in fact. They can't catch him out of there. And now here's Kaish on Pluto. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, I mean, Brute and X. 5 laps lost for Brute, 6 laps lost for X. These two could be in the podium contention, maybe even the win contention by the end of this race.
Who knows? They gotta hope their soft tires can last to the end, though, and not overheat or anything. There was the Aston Martin teammates of JNT and Vapor JS swapping spots right there. Don't know if that was meant or not, but it is Vapor going ahead of JNT, both with penalties, by the way. And speaking of penalties, we saw this happen last week. Brute currently on the podium. So, you know what? Him and Axe, that's the battle for that podium, and we're going to continue to watch that as Kai just right all over the back of Pluto on lap 25 out of 35. He's been close all race. And we have a yellow flag. That's Vapor JS, who was running really well in the Aston Martin, got ahead of his teammate, and now he's crashed.
Yep, we just had
contact. The lead! Jab goes through! Is he fully through? Yes, he is! He retakes the lead.
What a move. I mean, we say it week in and week out. We got Kaj on Pluto.
Double DRS was important for Jab to keep that lead, in fact, because if he didn't have double DRS, Beatnik was going to be right all over the back of him still. And he was, in fact. However, could not make the move. Now, for the podium on track, Kaj and Pluto, the podium on penalties, Brute and Axe. That's what it looks to be. Beatnik with a penalty now. There you go. So that's promoted Axe with the podium on penalties right now. This is crucial for this race. Davis, also on the soft tires, sets the fastest lap. He will get an extra point if he is in the points, it looks like. As Fatagi, now it switches back to him. This race is just flopping. One moment, you don't know what could happen. And you know what? You got to be in the right position at the right time as Davis picks up a track limit penalty.
This is great racing in the top 6. This is absolutely what you love to see.
Oh, here's Kaj!
Best of Oh,
Pluto was trying to take the outside to get the exit, and he didn't get the best of entry, which allowed Kai to go back down the inside. He couldn't go through there. Beatnik, although he fell outside of a second, he still does have DRS, and he will have DRS out of the final chicane too. Very important for this race in order to stay in this podium on track.
And Brute and Axe. Axe starting to close in a little bit on Brute. You gotta wonder, Brute got, wants to take his time, but he's got a hard charging Axe behind him who would love to get past him. Because this is a battle for possibly P2.
Possibly P3 if anybody gets any penalties removed. Vapor JS now sets the fastest lap. You know, after his spin, he is really pushing it. And here's Pluto, who is looking for a moment on Beatnik, and he gets another penalty. There you go. So in fact, if he does appeal the 5 second, he's still gonna have that penalty to spare. That's 6 seconds now for Pluto, at least, at a minimum. And that's allowed Beatnik to lose DRS as well, because Pluto has put the fight to him. Can Beatnik get back in DRS by the detection point? The answer is no.
Oh, here comes Kaj.
Oh, look at this. Right down the inside. They make contact. Kaj loses the rear. He is lucky not to collect Brute in that, as Brute's going to pull alongside. They're going to be 3 wide. Axe, Kaj, Brute. Who's going to go ahead? It's Axe ahead of both of them. Pluto by Beatnik.
That's unlucky. Yeah, that was really unlucky for Brute. Kaj, after getting all squirrely in the corner, just continues to not give Brute any room, so it's unlucky for Brute, but he's still in contention for this podium.
For Beatnik to get a podium, I think the crucial thing for him is to follow Pluto through and hope something happens to Axe or Brute, because now it is Axe up in the podium, then followed by Brute, and someone who could still have a chance if he gets inside the... Oh! He's lucky he's still in this race. Yes, he is in this race. But he is trembling, and now there's another safety car. Oh, dear. Unfortunate for Axe. Oh, the commentator's curse is back at it. I was just speaking about, in fact, the other Alpha Male driver, Breakout, who, in fact, does Axe have a puncture? Why is he running this slow? It's very weird. I don't know. But I have to mention, the other Alpha... Oh, Taishi has crashed too under safety car. But I have to mention the other Alpha Male driver, Breakout, who is 7th right there for the moment. Right now he's in the podium off penalties. And he's a tier 2 driver. Fair play to him.
There's something I would like to say, but I'm not going to say it, because I don't want to jinx him.
Jab pits for softs! And this late safety car has changed the race. Pluto stays out. Is he going to be a sitting duck? He might be. JNT thinks about pitting. He does pit. Everybody else pits but Pluto. I mean, Pluto, you have no other choice. You know what? Just like last week, you have a penalty, you're on the mediums. I mean, you know, those mediums probably still feel quite nice. Davis stays out in the Ferrari as well. He has penalties. He's been pretty much nowhere half this race. So why not try to grab some positions for him? He's looking to possibly be in the top 5. Or actually, I should say top 7 now. Come out of the pits. He comes out ahead of Breakout. We'll see what he can do to maybe take a top 5 on track, because I think the only 3 who don't have penalties are Jab, Baru, and Breakout, it looks like. You know, it seems like Thrasher, even with the trouble Beatnik had, even with the trouble Brute had, and even with the trouble Breakout had twice in this race, you just have to be in the right spot at the right time, in fact, and never give up, like as mentioned in the Tier 3 race, like as mentioned now, and Axe F1, also who got that front wing tarnished, also is still in contention technically because he has no penalties. And in fact, if you remember Thrasher, Season 3 Canada, Axe was in contention for a podium as well, and he was actually in contention for a win off the last safety car, restarted 10th, drove through the field up to the lead, gonna take the lead, and then got taken out of the hairpin. He starts 11th, one position worse, and in fact he was 11th on that safety car. However, restarted 10th because someone crashed or lost under the safety car 6 seasons ago in GSR. I know this is a shorter safety car and a shorter lap distance than the last time he had this happen at Canada. However, history can repeat itself, Thrasher, and we've seen it before. However, he's one of the only Ford drivers not to have a penalty.
Yeah, but he's going to need a lot of luck.
I know. And a lot of overtaking.
Yeah, he's going to get a lot of overtaking, a lot of luck. You know, a lot of things that happen in front of him. You know, if Axe could pull this off, it would be amazing. But it's going to be hard.
It will be. But what I think is important to note here, how much is Pluto going to push to rather pull away 6 seconds? Or simply try to finish a best of maybe 4th or 5th on the penalties, because that's where he could be sitting right now for Pluto. I mean, if trouble does happen, if trouble does strike, he could be maybe 3rd at a best. Who knows? But are we seeing Jad possibly get challenged by Brute Gorgon for a win in Tier 1? I never thought I would say that, but this is what we're seeing. With the chaos we've ensued in Canada, Pluto leads. The safety car will come in this lap. It'll be a 5-lap dash, and with the amount of safety cars we've used, it still might not be the last one. We don't know. The amount of chaos, the amount of destruction, the amount of switching back and forth, flopping between positions, the amount of overtakes we've seen from Axe, Kaj, Gagi, all the drivers throughout the field. We are now having a 5-lap dash to the end of this race, and Pluto is in control of this. He's the 3rd different driver in control of this restart. When does he choose to go? It's important for him to excel with those 11 seconds of penalties. Could be 6 if he gets it uphill. Here he goes! He's away! He's got away pretty well, but he has to match with his final chicane to go way better. He loses the rear. Here comes Jab for the lead. Already side by side. Does Jab have to let him through? Yes, he does. Here's Beatnik now challenging for the lead. They're going to be side by side. Jab on the inside. Pluto on the outside on the mediums. On the 11-lap mediums, Pluto stays ahead. And now here's Breakout going ahead of Davis. That's what he needed crucially for this podium. Behind that, Axe trying to go through on his rivals. Here's Vapor going through on the Aston Martin teammate of J&T. We are seeing position swap. Here's Jab in the back of Pluto for the lead. Overtake being used. Axe getting passed by Fatagi. Davis and Vapor too. Side by side. Vapor goes ahead. Davis has to take the runoff. Now back to the lead. Here's Jab on Pluto. We have the off flag. We have crashed at the back of the field, but Jab ignores that and goes through on Pluto. He is ahead for the lead once again. Got to break that slipstream. Jab does. Pluto's got a lot more battery. However, Jab has the fresher tires, and that will matter. Oh, Pluto's very tight in the chicane. He's going to be challenged by Beatnik now, and Brute Gorgon is still on for a podium. I cannot believe I'm saying that. For the 2nd week in a row, and Taishi's out. He's crashed. Retired. And will we see a safety car? We will not so far. But we will see a fucking vacuum.
I
Fatagi's
don't know why.
picked up another penalty. Here's Kaj in the back of Brute. Here's Axe going by Davis. Axe breaks late and goes ahead. Pitting is Blue Gagi. He might have took some damage. Vapor now on Brute. Or Breakout, that is. Vapor down the inside. Breaks late. Pushes him off track. Kaj with a penalty. Davis with a penalty. Blue Gagi's out. Now Axe down the inside of Breakout. There's contact. Axe lets him by. Here's Kaj on Brute. This race, you have to be in the right spot at the right time and capitalize on everything. Axe capitalizing on Brute. Oh, Kaj, I think, got the corner. He's going to get another check on the warning from that. Here's the fastest lap for Jab. J&T with a penalty. Oh, my goodness.
It was Breakout, not Brute that Axe was penalty.
Oh, sorry about that.
Brute loses it.
Oh!
The card. And Kaj goodbye.
Now that's going to promote Pluto up into the podium on penalties. Beatnik with another pen. Here's Vapor on Brute. Vapor with another dive bomb. That's the 3rd dive bomb in the last couple laps. Axe has done some too, and he's right in the back of these guys. Here's Brute again. Contact! They touch! Here's Brute back down the inside. They make contact. Brute pushes him off. Vapor's in the wall and out. And it's too late for a safety car. Oh my goodness. What driving standards have we seen in this race? What chaos have we seen? Oh my god. 10 runners left after a 19-car race. And unsurprisingly, Jab is still in front out of all of this. He has avoided the trouble.
Beatnik on Pluto.
Here we go. For second place. Axe F1 sets the fastest lap. We've got another yellow flag. I think that could be breakout. Beatnik goes by Pluto, and he is on the fresh. However, can any of these two keep the podium? The next guy, without penalties, is Brew, and he currently is on the podium. That'd be a second week in a row. Here's Kai's back at it on Pluto. He's got the fresher tires. He's got overtaking gauge. Can we see another move in the turn 8 chicane? Kai's using overtake again to try to get by Pluto. Can't do so. Gonna have to dive it. He will! Dives it! Makes contact! Pushes Pluto toward the wall! Now Kai's is gonna go through. That was aggressive. And aggressively done, but aggressively coming back at it is Pluto. On the more worn medium tires, can he stay through? Yes, he goes back ahead. Now, onto the final lap. After all the chaos, after all the carnage, Jab has avoided the trouble and is leading once again and looking for 3 in a row. I can't wrap my head around the fact that even with all the carnage, the driving standards people mentioned, the chaos, that Jab just somehow finds a way to never get involved in these crashes. Here's Kai. Oh, he looked for it, couldn't do anything about it though.
Let's go ahead, DRS again.
Can, in fact, Axe keep it in the podium? So far he has. Down the inside. They make contact. He shoves Pluto off. They make contact again. Kai's just around, but he keeps it going. So was Pluto. Pluto got it collected. Oh, there's contact. Kai pushes Axe. And he runs in the back of him. It's going to be a battle for the podium on track for sure. But the guy who's avoided the trouble, the guy who is going to win 3 in a row, is going to come off the final corner. Jab sees the flag first, and the chaos we saw, he avoided the chaos. He wins in Canada. It will be Brute Gorgon, another podium again in GSR. XF1 with P3 after all that chaos. Rage quitting, leaving the session, just misses out on P2, but it is Brute Gorgon a second podium, a second week in a row. How about that for the Mexican?
Amazing. Amazing.
I've lost my voice a little bit.
I can hear it.
Oh.
And we have, look at this. We get the final point.
How about that?
One thing I talked to Davis, he said he just wants some points. Well, he brought home 1 point.
Well, at least with all the trouble he ensued, at least finishing the race is what mattered for him. Driver of the day from the game is Brute Gorgon, who started P11, P12-ish. He's on the podium again on GSR. That's the 3rd podium for Brute Gorgon, a season record for him of 2 podiums. And that's all in the first 3 races. What can he do for the rest of the season? And all of that with Axe coming back too. Brute Gorgon also had damage at some point. Jab kept his car clean. I mean, what have we just seen?
We have a North American top 3. That's what I know.
Top 4, in fact, just like qualifying. Top 5. Look at that. Let's get the rest of the podium sitters in here for their podium interviews. It is the top 3. Let's see. Let's make sure they include their audio. Make sure you guys' audio is included. I know yours with Brute. Yeah. So first, we're gonna interview Axe, who took the fastest lap. Axe, a podium finish for you. At one point, you rage quit during the race. Did you even think that was possible? If he's even there.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, there you are.
No, that was absolutely the worst race I've been a part of. That was pathetic, bro. Like, I don't understand what was happening and why it was happening. People were just trying to shove their way through. It was like everyone was jammed up in the slow corners, and they were all just pushing each other. There was probably desync too, and it was absolutely pathetic race.
I know you said it was a pathetic race, but are you at least happy you got a podium out of it?
No,
With all
I'm not
that?
even
No?
happy now.
No?
No.
Helped your
Today had to
championship,
be a
though?
win.
Yeah,
No, it doesn't, because Jab won.
true.
So that's all that matters to me,
That's
because
true.
Jab's the guy to beat, and I didn't beat him. So I don't know. We'll see what happens if I'm even gonna continue racing. Something needs to improve with the driving.
Well, you spoke about something that needs to be improved, and I understand your frustration. In fact, I understand everybody's frustration from that race. I saw a lot of chaos, and I think we'll probably see more tickets than we saw in Tier 3 Australia, which was even worse than my tier. In fact, that was 24 tickets on there. We could see more. But, however, I have to ask, you spoke about driving standards. As a past owner of the league, what do you think should be improved then? And from you driving, I mean, you tell them. What do you think?
I I just don't know, because it was a little bit of everything today. There was bumper cars, there was side by side, no one could do it, and I mean it was just everything has got to be really tightened up and stewarding or whatever they've got to do. We'll see. But I want to give a shout out to the man Brute for giving me a good battle at the end.
Yeah.
That was clean and fun. So congrats on the Pizza brother. Well, at least for now.
We'll see.
Yes.
So, congratulations on the podium, Max. I know what you would have wanted, but I know you would have wanted the championship lead or try to challenge for it. But if Jeb does get into trouble, at least helps long term, hopefully. And I don't know what the future holds with that. So, either way, congrats. I'm just going to say that for now. Thrasher, do you have any questions for Axe?
Well, Axe, I texted you. After 3 invites, you said at Thrasher, I'm not joining back. You joined back anyways. I'm gonna be honest. I don't blame you for leaving because I would have done the same. With what you went through, but just congratulations on the podium. I mean, obviously, yeah, I agree with you. After watching today's race, the driving standards need to change. I'm sure Adams will discuss that, but you know, I guess congratulations on your podium.
I also have to add, I hope that makes up for your Season 3 race here a couple years ago where you recovered through the field and weren't able to get a podium or a win. So I just wanted to say that before, if you do leave quickly or anything like that after we get to the next person. I also wanted to say as well, yeah, I don't blame you for leaving either. I understand where you come from, and I think everybody has a reason to be frustrated. However, good comeback, and it was good you put on a performance. You made some incredible dive bombs, so it was good to see.
Thank you.
So now on to second place finisher Brew. I know the stream is not going to hear you because of your Xbox app. However, I still want to interview you regardless of that. And I know the chat will be wondering what you said. I'll probably relay it to them if any of them want to know. However, another podium for a second week in a row. I know Axe was mentioning it doesn't really excite him too much because of the driving standards, and he would have wanted to win. But it's your best finish in GSR. Are you at least proud of that, or would you think the win was possible with the way you came back and had damage for a beginning portion of the race? Yeah, most definitely. You had damage at the start of the race. I guess this leads me to a two question for you. Did you think the podium was possible? And now that you've gotten the podium for the most times you've gotten the podium in a season, which is 2, 3 podiums now in GSR, are you looking more hungrier for a win? There you go. There you go, man. Congrats on the podium. Thrasher, do you have any questions?
Well, we talked before the race. We all make the jokes that you couldn't finish your race. But now this is 2 weeks in a row. You brought home a podium. Are you starting to get that confidence back in league racing?
Right.
No, congratulations.
Well, Thrasher, I think you should move on to the race winner from this race. I don't even know what I want to ask him when it's my turn, but just go on with it.
I got this.
Oh,
All right.
Oh dear.
So Jab,
Yeah.
obviously not starting on pole. You're a fraud.
Oh, wow.
So,
Are you questioning me?
but you had a great start. You're a great jump off the line. And was able to stick it past X.
Yeah.
Yes, was able to stick it past X and had the inside in the turn two. And then pretty much it was just set aside dumps. Obviously a bunch of safety cars coming out. So you were battling. I'll ask how was your battling? Obviously, maybe the driving standards were a little bit better, more towards the front of the pack. You were obviously battling with Beatnik and with Axe,
Yeah.
Pluto, and all them.
Yeah. Up at the front, like I didn't really experience anything. Nothing crazy really. Everybody was giving each other room,
Shocking.
and everything was just. I was just hearing all the chaos behind me. Like I was getting kind of frustrated because every time I got in rhythm, a safety car would come out. So like complaining, and it was kind of when there were battles, like people I battled with, it was clean, but obviously I didn't see it firsthand, but based on what I heard, driving standards gotta get better.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to figure out what else to ask you. It's not much.
I mean, I do have a question if you don't have anything to ask right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Jab, I have to ask. I know it's another win. It's 3 in a row. I can't really reflect too positively, just overall, just because the driving standards. Obviously, congrats on the win. However, I have to ask, from what you heard in the party, from what you hadn't experienced, and in fact, what can be improved. I should ask because you've been somebody before who rarely gets taken out, rarely involved in the chaos. However, when you are, it's something very stupid and usually someone else is doing. So talk to me about what you think needs to be improved at that point. For someone who dominates Tier 1 all the time and probably wants to see other people who are fast challenge you, as I've seen Aid make an announcement in Tier 1, the tier coordinator, by the way. So continue. Thoughts?
Well, it really comes down to patience because some people are, usually you see me, I just usually just sit behind people, wait till the moment. There's multiple times I could have got by some people. I just kind of sat there, wait till my moment, wait till DRS. But what I've noticed, like, in the middle of the field, people are just, I gotta get this passed now, just really impatient. But if people can, like, kind of take a step back, save your ERS, there's no point of, like, see the situation, If you have no warnings or anything, and people I already have penalties, there's no point of risking your race by making a dumb dive. Just kind of sit there, try to avoid this and just give space.
If everybody can take part of that, then we can have some good racing and like 5 different safety cars. How many?
Yeah. I'm gonna cut it short, Thrasher, with you, or with Jab, but just because
Hold on real
I've
quickly.
God first, God.
No, real quick.
Oh, two for
Yeah, it's another win. Where's your flag?
Yeah, there you go.
Alright.
There you go.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
wait on it.
You need to get it to
We
all
got
the
this
drivers
time.
who did not get a penalty for any sort of bad driving today. So I think that's who earns it.
Yeah, all the
So,
clean drivers get some today.
there you go. I agree. Well, I have to cut it short just because I have food here, and not only that, or at least with you, Jeb. But congratulations on the win. It is 3 in a row. We'll see if you
Thank
can
you.
try to do another 4 in a row for yourself. So congrats with that, Thrasher. I just want to do a quick 2-minute wrap up with you. I have to talk about the driving. Personally, I understand what I said earlier in the race with, game glitches, everything else, desync. I mean, I'm sure that is a part of it. Driving frustrated too. I mean, add everything into it. I also think it doesn't help that you have 3 street circuits in the first 4 races of GSR. I'm not necessarily putting the blame toward whoever designed the calendar, but I'm also going to put some blame toward there because I also have to ask, street circuits were a big issue in GSR last season with driving standards. I want to sort of ask the question respectfully, at least would you expect? However, do you think that is why we're seeing the driving standards be the way it is from Tier 1 today and, like, let's say Tier 3 in Australia? What do you think? I mean, what are we seeing?
I don't know. I know street circuits on this game are a lot worse compared to street circuits last game, so you can't really compare the two. But yeah, this game, today the driving standard was absolutely atrocious. That was the worst I've ever seen in GSR history.
Yeah. For Tier 1 at least.
I'm like, for Tier 1.
For me at
Tier
least,
1, there was a race Tier 1 last season that was bad. I don't remember the name, or not name, I don't remember the track, but, it doesn't matter. This was just absolutely atrocious. And Tier 1 really needs to step it up, or there's going to be some repercussions going on later on.
It's good to see tier coordinators such as it's good to see tier coordinators such as Buchan and Aid who care and who are wanting to fix it. In fact, we'll have to see if that is going to be the case, if anything does fix driving wise, because you can't fully control the drivers. Only you're going to have to give out harsher penalties at that point to hopefully fix that. That's the only thing you maybe can do to fix. But over the drivers are the one driving the car, and that's really about it. I mean, 3 of the first 4 races are street circuits, and in fact, I can go back to a couple of races last season and just before. And other tiers which I've seen bad driving, Tier 4 Saudi Arabia, Tier 3 Australia, and I think the list continues. I don't even want to go on there. However, your tier coordinators for Tier 1 are already working on it to try to fix the driving, and I'm sure there's going to be 20 freaking tickets submitted, so we'll see what that's like. Either way, it was Ryan O'Connor 31 and GSR Thrasher back at it. We'll join you again next week for Tier 1. Join us tomorrow for Tier 4, and until next time, have a good one, folks.